Ford has taken a bold approach with the next generation of one of their most venerable nameplates, returning to a rear-wheel drive architecture and offering up to 29 miles per gallon. This is the all-new Explorer Hybrid. The fifth-generation Explorer debuted in 2011 when it moved off of its truck frame and became a more modern unibody SUV. And now here we are, shifting the power once again to the rear wheels, but retaining the weight savings and three-row spaciousness of a contemporary crossover. So should you care? Well, for most owners, probably not. Today's traction and stability control systems, combined with the Explorer's available all-wheel drive, have overcome traditional rear drive disadvantages. Rear drive setups also provide better weight distribution for a more athletic drive and allow the vehicle's designers more freedom to create this Explorer's sportier stance. Because you need an extra connection between the front-mounted engine and the rear wheels, they are costlier for automakers to build. But Ford likes their decision, and so will Explorer drivers. When shopping the Explorer, you have three engine options. Now, the volume models run with a Turbo 4, while the high-end trims are powered by a turbocharged V6, making up to 400 horsepower. And then sandwiched in between is the Hybrid, with a naturally aspirated V6 and an electric motor for propulsion. Its purpose is fuel efficiency, particularly in around the town driving, where it's rated at 27 miles per gallon. That's nearly 30% better than the four-cylinder model, with a driving range of 540 miles. But the question is, can those numbers actually be achieved? Over the course of a week and 320 miles, I averaged 22 MPG, and 94 of those miles didn't use a drop of gas. So that's disappointing to say the least. The four-cylinder Explorer is supposed to nab 24 MPG without an electric motor. And because the Hybrid is only available in the more extravagant limited trim, its MSRP is $15,600 more than the Explorer XLT. No matter how clever the engineers get with these gasoline-electric hybrids, fact is, they're just not as smooth as their gas-only counterparts. Now, I do like the fact that the Explorer's driver information display readily shows me exactly what mode I'm driving in, including when I'm using electric alone. And I'm always a sucker for a good graphical depiction of what's going on with these hybrid powertrains, and that's right here too. But choosing the Hybrid as a compromise, I bet that most people plunking down $55,000 for an SUV are not willing to make. The drive can be uneven, and the ride quality with the added weight definitely takes a bit of a hit for what turns out to be ho-hum mileage. No all-wheel drive on my tester, but it is offered and uses the same 10-speed hybrid-specific transmission. This one produces 318 combined horsepower and feels rather lively, particularly in sport mode. There are even very convincing engine sounds to match. Though the battery pack doesn't cut into the ample passenger or cargo volume, the Hybrid is the heaviest Explorer, weighing nearly 5,000 pounds, and that is palpable in terms of its less than sumptuous ride quality, where a heavier duty suspension might have helped. Minus the Hybrid powertrain's occasional hiccups, I do like the way this Explorer handles a back road. And the cabin is exceptionally quiet, making it a perfect respite after a hectic day or for a family vacation. Gladly, the regenerative brakes eschew much, though not all, of their hybrid nature for a more natural stopping experience. Towing is down from the other Explorer models, but not by much, still capable of hauling 5,000 pounds. Ford refers to him as Dr. Derriere, and his PhD is in seat comfort. Now, his real name is Mike Kolick, and he's the supervisor in charge of these awesome front seats, which are most certainly road trip approved. Everything you see here is included, with the exception of the twin-panel moonroof, leading to an as-tested MSRP of $55,270. Some of my favorite features include the searing hot 3-stage heated seats, surround vision camera with external button, the killer B&O sound system, and the adaptive cruise control system that automatically adjusts to changing speed limits, even if you want to travel at a set speed above what the law allows. As it pertains to the electronics, I'm one of the few that actually liked the old 4-quadrant sync system, but apparently it was a nightmare for most users, so several years ago, Ford overcorrected and came up with this setup, which to me just feels too rudimentary and a little dumbed down. Higher-end Explorers get the tablet-like 10-inch screen and bigger, more involved driver display. A couple of criticisms here. Ford doesn't allow for Apple CarPlay and their own apps to work simultaneously, so items like Sirius Travel Link are inaccessible as long as your iPhone is plugged in. Speaking of which, why not include wireless CarPlay so that you can actually make use of this handy wireless device charger? I also don't care for the placement of the drive mode selector buttons. Very inconvenient. A dial would work much better anyhow. Despite the fact that it's only driving the rear wheels here, there are a multitude of settings configured to make the best use of the Explorer's capabilities, including its nearly 8 inches of ground clearance. This Explorer is bigger in all 3 rows, and it feels it, featuring new easy-access second-row seats that are power-activated, a flat load floor that can carry 4-foot wide items, and redesigned anchor points for easier child seat installation. Just press the button on top to move these seats out of the way. It couldn't be any simpler. And there's so much headroom back here that it's too bad Ford didn't raise these seats a little higher off the floor so that even the long-legged could sit in complete comfort. A kick of the foot opens the rear hatch, and the seats power fold with a single touch of the button. Plus, there's some useful underfloor storage. So though I like the new Explorer, I'd shy away from the hybrid. At least this one. Interestingly, the owner's manual makes reference to a plug-in hybrid that currently only resides in Europe, and its performance looks impressive. It's built in Chicago, so perhaps Ford has plans to one day sell it here. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.